Broadcasting live from RISKWORLD 2022 at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, it's time for Workplace MVP, brought to you by R3 Continuum, a global leader in helping workplaces thrive during disruptive times. Now, here's your host.
Hi, everyone. Jamie Gassmann here, your host of Workplace MVP, and I am coming to you from the RISKWORLD 2022 Expo Hall in R3 Continuum's booth. And with me is Allison Scaia from the Hartford Health Services Department. So welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jamie. Excited to be here. We're excited to be at RIMS and really highlight health services. So what we're focused on at RIMS today is using our deep data and expertise across the workers' compensation and group benefits to highlight our injury prevention services and our integrated offering across workers' comp and the group benefits products.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the conversations that you're going to be having here and some of the benefits that has for, customers that might be coming by.
Absolutely. So from an injury prevention services perspective, our offering is really based on our deep data set, where we've been able to identify why are individuals not at work. We really want to help employers focus on having a healthy and productive workforce. So we're talking with employers about how to reduce the risk of musculoskeletal claims and the services that the Hartford, through our trusted clinical partners, can offer to employers to help their employees stay healthy and productive at work.
Great. So talk to me a little bit about how those services might function or work within, so if
Sure.
I'm a customer coming to you looking into that, talk me through kind of what that experience looks like.
Absolutely. So we really like to work with every employer to make sure that we're understanding their needs and what their claims experience is. So as we look at the data of their claims experience and talk with them, we would understand, as an example, is it appropriate to have an on-site clinic at that employer that can help really quickly intervene if there's claims, make sure there's folks on site to help maintain that productive workforce and respond if there's any injuries that are occurring. We also have virtual services. So with COVID, that's something that's become more and more of interest to employers. Services like ergonomic assessments to make sure that people are sitting appropriately, as they're working all day.
Yeah, and would that be in their home office as
Yeah,
well as
it could
in,
be.
imagine people sitting in their living room at their on their couch is not the most ergonomic for an all day.
Absolutely.
So talk me through how do you introduce that to an organization, and do you do an assessment ahead of time to kind of help gauge what's the best approach, or talk me through a little bit of that?
Yeah, we're really working with the employers and saying if we already have them as a client, what does the data look like? And what are we able to see in terms of causes of claims and causes of absence? Because we're really trying to help those employers focus on keeping those employees healthy and productive at work. So it's a conversation with them to really look at what they're seeing and what they need and make sure those employees are healthy.
So, and are you diving into their existing claims data right now, or is there other ways that you're collecting that data?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a leading provider, number 2 writer of workers' comp, and then top in the group benefits space, we're able to look and say across the board, what do we see in terms of absence with that deep data set? So we've developed our offerings based on what we see holistically, but then at a customer level, we could absolutely dive in and work with that specific customer to look at their claims experience as well.
Yeah, and then is it specific by industry too? Are you able to kind of segment it out?
Absolutely,
into the various
absolutely. So I think manufacturing is an example. We would dive in and say, what are we seeing of causes of absence in manufacturing? What are we seeing in the construction space? We're absolutely able to really look at the data. That's the benefit of being such a strong provider in the space, that we're able to have that deep data set, as well as having the group benefits experience as well, that we can highlight and really look at all the data we have across the board.
And is mostly on physical type claims and physical injuries, or is it a kind of a combination of the whole individual, mental and physical?
Yeah, right now we're really focused on the musculoskeletal injuries in terms of our offering today. We're always looking to innovate and we're always looking at new offerings, but today's focus is really highlighting more from a musculoskeletal perspective.
Sure, I'm sure, and I imagine ergonomically, I can only, futuristically, are you looking at some of
Absolutely.
the trending in the future?
Absolutely.
As people continue to do this remote work?
Absolutely, yes.
I think of myself, I'm still working remote myself, and it's, making sure I have the right office chair, because most people don't in their homes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, interesting. So what is one thing, if you wanted to leave, kind of a little bit of tidbit that employers need to be considering right now with the work that you've done and the data set that you've already explored? What is something you want to leave them with on this episode?
Yeah, I think really thinking about the breadth of the Hartford's offerings and working with us in terms of, holistically how we can think about that healthy and productive workforce is a really kind of key point we're trying to highlight, across at RIMS, and the deep data set and expertise that we have because of that market position across group benefits and workers' compensation.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, and obviously the health of the employee helps keep them at work, which
Absolutely.
helps keep the company productive.
Absolutely.
So,
that's exactly what we want them to focus on.
There's definitely a benefit in multiple ways, financially, productivity,
Absolutely.
culturally. So that's amazing. It sounds great. And the offering you're putting out there sounds fantastic for your clients and future clients.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to learn a little bit more about health services at the Hartford, how can they go about doing that?
Sure. So easy, healthservices@thehartford.com, is a great way to do it. And visit our webpage as well, thehartford.com/health services.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on our episode here and visiting us here at the RIMS show. We really appreciate you being on.
Great. Thanks so much. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you for joining us on Workplace MVP. R3 Continuum is a proud sponsor of this show and is delighted to celebrate most valuable professionals who work diligently to secure safe workplaces where employees can thrive.